Just to start off, Captain Marvel was a great movie. Just watched it last night. And just because that it's scripted doesn't mean that I don't want you to watch it. I want you to watch it, though, with an understanding of why they do what they do. And if you do, it opens up a whole nother world that you understand that this is meant to mind control a lot of people. But if you're aware of it, it can't work on you. Okay? So try to learn that with an open mind. I want you to see the movie. It was fun. It was a great movie, as all the Avengers were. But just like all the other Avengers movies, it is coded. Avengers itself is 9-1, okay? Pretty similar to 9-11, okay? That's just a good starting point because as hard as I tried to find a picture on the internet, no one's put it up yet. But Carol Danvers, which is, of course, Captain Marvel's human name, if you will, secret identity name or whatever you want to call it. Well, the plane that she was flying, and I bet nobody else in the theater noticed, but if you'll see on its tail, it actually says 119, the reverse of 9/11. Okay, there's a reason for this. Okay, well, besides it being 9/11, okay, it's not just a 9/11 conspiracy thing. Look at this. It's a number for divine feminine. And that's important here in the Jewish cipher 9/11. Okay. And they just reversed it 119, and this is about a superhero-powered woman, right? So divine feminine. Well, and that's a sacred concept. Divine feminine plus the sacred masculine. The phallus and the chalice. That's why on the Mason symbol, you got the compass points up and the square points down. You see, very normal, understandable concept that if you're familiar with this at all. Now, here's a few other things that were fascinating. They kept referring to Earth as C-53. Okay. Well, C-53 and C-3PO from Star Wars, you'll notice they're coded pretty much the same. If you see my cursor down here, and all it happens is when you go to demonstrator.com and you type in a word, and once you hit return, it puts it down here so you can compare them. Okay. And C-3PO and from Star Wars and C-53, which almost sounds the same, both some almost the same. 14 in reverse full reduction, 11 in the septenary cipher, and then you'll even notice the 19 and 11, kind of like 9/11. That's no mistake, okay, because Earth itself is 52. Okay, so they call it C-53. Well, it's only one away. Pretty close. And by the way, if you don't think that somebody took the time to code the English language into gematria, you're either extremely ignorant, unbelievably unobservant, or just too dumb to understand. Because look at the word Earth right there. You see? You see how it has 52, like 52 weeks in a year, and 24, like 24 hours a day? That would be a really bizarre coincidence, considering there's billions of words we could have called the planet. We called it Earth, and then it happens to be those two things. I mean, something about that, okay? Well, let's go to look at Captain Marvel right here. Okay, here's our next mystery we're going to decipher, because in reverse ordinal, it sums to 216, and 216 is an extremely important number in sacred geometry. It also is the date of the release date, okay, March 8, 2019. Multiply the 3 times the 8 times the 1 times the 9 and 3, 8, 19, and it sums to 216. And you'll also notice if you multiply it throughout this way, okay, that it sums to 432. Both numbers are extremely important in sacred geometry. Let me show you why. Now, I can't click on these because if I do, it shuts off what I'm doing, okay? So I'll just do it this way to get around it. But you'll see that 216 is one of the points on the pentagram. Okay, now why is that important? Well, it's also the width of the moon. Okay, and here's how it all fits in. That may be a little hard to see, but just squint a little bit or something to look at that. The 144,000 divided by 666, like in Revelations, is 216. Well, the diameter of the moon is 216. Okay, and you saw how it also multiplied out to 432. Okay, well, it's because 216 times 2 is 432. Mirror that and add it together, and it becomes 666. Okay? So this is very important to sacred geometry. You'll also notice that there are 2,160 degrees total, 6 faces in a cube, multiplied by 360. And you end up with, which is You know, all the degrees in a circle, right? Well, there's that many degrees in a square too, you know, or a cube. And well, you multiply it out, and it ends up to be the same thing, 2,160. Makes you kind of wonder if the moon's width really is that, or if they just made it up. I don't know. Not sure how to tell. It's also important because Jesus Christ, when multiplied out with the septenary cipher, also sums to 2,160. Interestingly, the same as Horus, just to show you that that's part of the mysteries, okay? So, it's also 116 days from the death of Stan Lee, a little bit like 216. You know, Stan Lee died on 11/12/2018. The movie release date, 3/8/2019, is 116 days. You know, not quite 216, but you can see that that's pretty similar. So let's see, and you see it's all about space, you know, and space being 17 and 44. Avengers is 44, no doubt about that. That's not an accident, you know. Avengers is all about space. Okay. Avengers is 91, space is 91. See, so 91, 91, 44, and 44. Not an accident. So, nice easy decode, and you'll pick these things out the more you get to know the sacred geometry, the more that you understand the mysteries. You'll see that the people who make these movies use them as a type of mind control, if you will, to condition you to accept certain understandings of the way the world works. And so that's how it is. So, if you noticed anything else about Captain Marvel, I do hope that you will tell me about it in the comments. I'll definitely look into it, add it in a future video or something if it gets me going to enough information, or just add it in the comments for other people to see. And appreciate you watching. So please like, share, and subscribe.